Welcome everyone. Today we'll be going over the website content section of ClubRunner. What that means is we'll be covering quickly some of the major topics or some of the major modules found inside website content. To begin, I'm going to click on member area right here. I've already logged in, so I'm just going to click on member area after I logged in. It's going to take me to the administration page. Here's where we're going to go from the administration page. We're going to explore the entire website content section. By doing that, I'm going to go along the top tabs. I'm going to click the gray tab called Website, and then I'm going to click on Website Content. By the way, for all the webinar attendees, if you have a question, at least just for now, please do type it in. We're going to absolutely reserve some time at the end for your Q&A, but I'm just going to keep going so we can do the webinar. I'm keeping track of the time. I'm hoping we don't go too far over, so I'm going to try and make sure we can cover as much as possible. Here we are at the website content section. This is where a lot of the website content gets generated. This differs from the website designer section. I'm going to go to website designer for 2 seconds just so you can see it. The website designer section is where you make all your design decisions, the layout, the fonts, the look of your website. The website content section is where you actually generate content, and that's what we're going to focus on today. So here we are in a section called Getting Started, and the homepage content. We're going to cover every topic here, but we're going to cover it, we're just going to glance at it. What I'm going to do to assist is I'm going to open up a new tab right here, and what we're going to do is we're going to go to the ClubRunner support homepage. I'm going to go clubrunnersupport.com. Okay, I'm just going to retype it. We'll be going over how to find a related KB article, knowledge base, how to find a related knowledge base article for every topic that we'll be covering. To begin, I'll give you an example. The first topic we'll be covering is homepage stories. So stories are essentially a way for you to generate text, images, videos. It's just a way to generate content. It's usually the quickest way. You'll go in and you'll create a story. I'm going to jump in real quick. And then when I click on homepage stories, it takes me to stories for homepage. These are the stories that you will display on your homepage. Okay, so right now there's 3, Gift to the World. I can of course go in and I'm going to edit Gift to the World by clicking here, click edit. I can add a story I've already made from the story library, or I can click here to create a new story, and it will let me create a new story from scratch. Stories are really useful. The nice part is that, let's say you have meeting minutes, you have all kinds of different things. You can actually create a story, display it on the home page for a couple days, a couple weeks, a couple months, whatever you'd like, and then you can remove the story. What remove means, this is not the same as delete. What remove means is that it will now move into the story library. So the stories widget is essentially all the stories that display on the home page. The story library you can think of as your story archive. So I will click here on the story library. You can see we have more stories, but not all of them are displaying on the home page. If I wanted, for example, World Polio Day, I know it's a very old story from 2014, but if I wanted World Polio Day to show up on my home page, I'd go here to Stories widget, and I would add a story from the story library. I would pick World Polio Day. I'm just selecting, and then I'm going to click Add Selected Stories. And by the way, please do let me know if I'm moving a little fast, or maybe I glossed over something. Please do type in a question. I want to move rapidly, but I don't want to gloss over anything that's important to you. And like I said, you will have time for a Q&A at the end. Okay, so here's Gift to the World. You know what? It's kind of a, I'm sorry, World Polio Day, my mistake. It's kind of an old story from 2014. I don't want it to display at the top of the page. If you want to know what the story layout looks like, so this is the stories for homepage. It's not really visual. If I want to actually see what's going on, I'll click on Preview, and what this does is it actually shows me a quick little preview of all the stories and how they're going to look on my homepage. So you can see I have these nice stories, but the topmost one is World Polio Day, and that's an old story. So what I'll do is I'll close this, and I will just drag World Polio Day down to the bottom like this. You can do that with any story, and now I've rearranged the stories that appear on my stories homepage. One note, what a lot of people try to do is they say, oh, that's a great feature. They go into their story library and then they're like, wait, I can't rearrange anything here. The story library is generally sorted by date. The most recent stories float to the top. You can see these stories haven't been edited in a while. But you can't just drag and sort because you're in the story library. If you're in the stories widget section, you absolutely can drag and move things around. Now, I'm going to leave stories at that, and I know what you're thinking. We haven't even edited a story or added a picture. There's a lot to go over, a lot more that I haven't covered. So because I haven't covered a lot of that, and this webinar is being recorded, by the way, so you'll be able to see it later. If you ever want to look up, well, I want to find out about stories, so let's go directly to clubrunnersupport.com. Okay, the URL changes to clubrunner.helpserve.com, but just so you know, this is the URL, clubrunnersupport.com, and then hit enter. It'll take you here. The Google custom search is a really great tool for finding articles. For example, let's go find out how to edit a story, which I haven't even covered right now, but that's because we have to move on to the next topic. But before we do, I'm going to type edit a story into the search box. If you need to find an article, you type this exact same phrase, edit a story, and then you can either click the blue magnifying glass or hit enter. And what will happen is it will pop up search results. Now, I chose edit a story specifically because the first search result is how to create and edit a story. I'm going to click on this link, and I can actually come to an article that goes step by step on how to create a story, you know, where I go, what is a permalink, you know, all the different buttons. So this is all covered in detail in this knowledge base or KB article. So I'm going to leave this open. What I'll try to do is, for everyone attending this webinar, I'll try to gather up all the links that we find today, and I'll email them to you. But for the viewers who didn't attend the webinar today, you can go. I'm going to click here in the middle tab. You can go to our clubrunnersupport.com and just type in edit a story. And that will show the first search result, which is how to edit a story. That's how you find this particular KB article. I'm going to close this off. I'm going to go back to our homepage here, okay, and then I'm just going to click the Go Back button, and I want to go back to website content. So we've very briefly covered stories. Believe it or not, we've actually covered homepage news. Homepage news is a legacy from our version 2 software. Stories and news can be used interchangeably. If I click on homepage news, I'm still going to add a story. The way that homepage news works is that it's another section on your homepage for holding other stories. So let's say you want one section with maybe the top 3 stories of the week or whatever, and then you want another section on your homepage which is for, I don't know, older stories. You can put certain stories in one section, in the story section, and then you can put other stories in the news section. They can hold different sets of stories. That's really the big difference between stories and news. So I'll leave it at that. And of course, if you want to find out more about news, you can go to the KB and just type in news, and you'll find several articles on you know, how our news widget works. Oh, I'm sorry, my mistake. I meant to type in news widget. I'm sorry about that. And this will give you what is news, how do you drag the widget in, how does it differ from stories. So once again, I go here to ClubRunner support and I type in news widget to find out more about news. Okay, I'm going to go back and let's cover homepage download files. So homepage download files, you can think of it as your own kind of little personal Dropbox inside ClubRunner. If I click homepage download files, you'll notice that here's a list of all the files. Now, the way that download files works is download files are public. They're completely public. You can, the URL, everything, download files cannot be password protected. That's one of the big things with download files is that they're essentially meant to be public. Now, saying that, you can choose to show the download file on the home page or not. So let's say, for example, custom web page. Oh, well, why isn't this showing on the home page? I want it to show. So you can actually turn that on. Before we get to that, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly add a download file. I'll click the orange Add Download File button. Okay, and the way to add a download file is just to type in a file name, any file name you want. I'll just type in any file name I want. And then when you click this choose file on your computer, it may say select file or browse for files or whatever. Different browsers have different wordings, but you click on the gray button. In my instance, it says choose file. It opens up my computer, and I can go, here's a nice picture of tulips. I can just click on any of these files that I want, for example, tulips, and I can click open. Now, what you can't do is you can't select multiple files. Download files, the way that it works is you add one download file at a time. So if I wanted these tulips, I'd select the tulips, I'd click open, and I do want to show the link. Now, this doesn't show the tulips. This shows, I'm sorry, hit cancel there. This shows the link, the download file link to the tulips. I do want to show that link. I'm going to check show on homepage. I'm going to click save. Okay, oh, I'm sorry, I accidentally did not unselect the tulip, so I'm going to go back, I'm going to select tulips, open, and then I'm going to save. Okay, there we go. All right, and there it is, any file name I want. Now, if you're not sure, you know, we did that a little quickly, and you're like, wait, did it upload the tulips? I'm not really sure. If you click on view, you can actually view the link. And in this case, here's the tulips that I just uploaded. It pops open in a new tab. I'm going to close this tab. Now, we didn't cover, well, on this page, custom web page. Why isn't this showing on web page? Well, if we want to change that, I would click the edit button to edit custom web pages properties. I would choose show, I would check the box for show on homepage, and I'd click save. Okay, and now everything is showing on the home page. I'm going to leave it at that. If let's go to the KB. I know we kind of glossed over it a little bit, but if I type download files into the search box of our knowledge base articles, and then I'm just going to hit enter. Here is the first link, download files and how to add a download file. So I'll click on that, and once again, it will go over step by step how to add a download file, what are the properties, etc. So I'm gonna go back here, and it was I typed in download files to find out more about download files. So I'm going to go back to our website. I'm going to click the go back button. Let's go back to website content. Homepage photo albums. So photo albums are essentially our version of the online photo gallery. I'm going to click here, and what this is going to do is this is going to show me some of the galleries that have already been created. And as you can see, I know that it's kind of old content. This is our test site. We're going to get new content in here soon. But there's 4 galleries already pre-made. If I wanted to take a look at a photo gallery, for example, Spring Fling Memories, what does that gallery look like? It's been, you know, actually a year since I've taken a look at this. I'm going to click View beside any photo album, and what happens is it pops open the photo album, and it looks like I just have one photo. So I can choose this photo, and what will happen is it will expand it to a larger size so I can see the photo better. I'm going to close this photo album. I'm just going to see, let's see if I can find a better photo album. This is a little bit better. Default test, I clicked on view, and then it's got 3 images here. They're all nice looking high-res royalty-free rotary images. So I'm going to click the middle one with the group of people, and you can see I got a nice view of the people. I can move back and forth. It's very similar to Dropbox and Flickr, how that works. I'm going to close this pop-up window, and then I'm going to close the tab, which will take me back to photo albums. Now, you'll notice I didn't go over create new photo albums, add from photo album library, and I do apologize for that. But so, to make up for the fact that I can't go too much into detail for today's time constraints, let's go into the KB right here. I'm sorry, our knowledge base, and I'm going to type in edit photo albums, because in today's webinar, I didn't go very deep into photo albums. I want to find out more. So if I go to ClubRunner support or clubrunner.helpserve.com and then type in edit photo albums, and then I'm going to hit enter, the first link is edit photo albums. I'm going to click on that. It pops open in a new window, and now I've got a nice article that goes step by step. Here's a photo album. I'm going to add a photo album. What does all the terminology mean? We've got some nice screenshots. So you've got a way to kind of go back now and learn more about photo albums. And the way that I got to there is in the search box. I typed in edit photo albums. Okay, so I'm going to go back here, and I know there's still a lot more to cover with photo albums. I am going to leave it for now just so we can get through the other topics. I'm going to click the go back button. We're going to go back to website content. I want to cover quickly homepage custom widgets. So what a homepage custom widget means, a widget is a little piece of information that can be reused. So for example, let's say let's go take a look. I'm going to click on homepage custom widgets, and the Facebook page plugin. That's kind of a popular one. A lot of people, they like to, now of course it's not working because it's a little old, but what you can do is, for example, you can add a widget. In fact, let's do it very quickly. I'm going to add a custom widget. Okay, and I'm just going to call it our Facebook link. Okay, and I'm going to say click here, whoops, click here to go to our Facebook page. Okay, and I'm just typing, and I'm going to highlight this. I'm going to click here, the link button. Okay, and this will let me create a link, facebook.com/test, because I don't actually have a page ready for you. And if I click OK, what happens is this now becomes a URL. So I can hover over this and it'll take me to facebook.com/test. Now, of course, this doesn't look very pretty. So if I move the cursor to the beginning, and I can actually place an image here. Okay, I'm going to click here, and I'm going to click on Browse Server. I don't think we have the Facebook logo. I'll use this for now as a placeholder. You can actually go to a website and download the Facebook icon, but I'm going to double click and we'll pretend this is Facebook. Okay, I'm going to make the width and height much smaller. Let's go 50 by 50. Okay, and I'll click OK. And now before I click OK, I know this is not part of the webinar today, but I just want to show you really quickly. To make any image a clickable link, the text is already a clickable link, but to make an image a clickable link, you'd go here in the middle tab, link, and I can type in, once again, facebook.com/test. Of course, that's not a proper URL, but that's okay. It's just an illustration. If I type this in, and I'm going to go back to image info, I've just made it 50 by 50. I'm going to click OK. And you know what, this is all fine, but what I'm going to do is I want to center all this. This is nice, but I want it all centered. If I hit Control and the letter A, that will select all. Once again, Control and the letter A, and I'm going to hit the center button. I've now got a nice looking, I know that's the wrong icon, but I've got a nice looking Facebook link, and I will save and publish. Okay, and the nice thing is that this Facebook link can now be used in my website designer on my homepage, or I can use it in my bulletins. I can even use it on custom pages, not site pages, but custom pages. We're going to go over what custom pages mean. But if I want to preview my Facebook link, which I just made, I'll just click there, and there it is. There's this nice little reusable a web widget that I can stick in a lot of areas, and I don't have to worry about, you know, what's my Facebook URL or whatever again. Everything works, and it's drag and drop in certain areas. I'll close this off, and I'll actually, instead of clicking go back, I'm just going to click on website content this time to take us back. Once again, that's a very brief introduction to what a custom widget is. I'm going to click on our knowledge base, and let's where was my, there it is, widgets. So I'm going to type the word widgets, okay, and this time just to change it up, I'm going to click the blue magnifying glass, okay. This brings me to a lot of articles. What I want is this second one, the one that just says widgets. Now this is actually not an article. If I click the first search result is custom widgets, the second one just says widgets, I will click OK, and what this is the widgets section of our knowledge base, and it starts right from the bare bones basics. What is a widget? Let's go watch a video on how to use a widget and how to add it in. So this KB or knowledge base article section will go into detail about widgets, and we even have a detailed widget list which lists all the different kind of widgets you have. And these are our pre-made widgets. So for example, RSS, you just drag all these pre-made widgets in and they populate themselves. You don't actually go in and modify, for example, the RSS feed or the Facebook like button. These kind of show up automatically, and they do have some properties, but we created a widget from scratch, and these are kind of pre-made widgets. So I'm going to click the back button, and that way we'll have this. And once again, to get to that, I would type in widgets. Oops, sorry, let's see if I can type properly, and it's the second link. Okay, now I'm going to click here. We're back on getting started. What I want to cover once again briefly is meeting responsibilities duty roster. We do get a lot of people saying, you know, we have our bell ringer, we have our, you know, greeter, whatever, and that's going to change. So if I click on meeting responsibilities duty roster, what this brings me to is this is kind of a way to break down the tasks and the positions, and you can, if you want, make this week to week. We kind of made this list modifiable. So, and by that I mean there's a group, and then there's all the different positions inside a group. So for example, the Christmas food drive, well, there's some volunteer drivers. You know what? There's another position I need to add, so I'm going to click Add Position. And the position is, I don't know, Santa Claus. Santa Claus people, or you know what? People in Santa Claus costumes. How about that? Okay, because we're going to need some volunteers. And do you want to show this position on the website? Do you want to assign a member to this position? Actually, yes. You know what? John Ford has volunteered to be Santa Claus. So I'm going to click Save, and now I've got John Ford and an assigned member in here, and it's in Christmas Food Drive. Of course, there's a lot more to go. You can add a new group. You can start dating the meeting responsibilities. So you can say, you know what, for the, I don't know, October 30th meeting, our bell ringer is going to be so-and-so, and I don't know, whatever you'd like to put in here. Once again, I know we didn't go in depth into meeting responsibilities. Today is just kind of a crash course. So if you did want to find out more about meeting responsibilities, I'm going to click on this tab, and for meeting responsibilities, I'm going to type in meeting responsibilities. There we go. Make sure I don't make a typo. And I'm going to use the second link. This first link is actually a PDF file. It says so right here. So I don't, you can of course download a PDF file if you like, but what I'm going to click is I'm going to click on the second link, Widgets, Meeting Responsibilities, ClubRunner Support, and this once again goes into, well, here's the meeting responsibilities, and if I want to edit it, this is how, and this is how to add a new position. So I'm going to leave it at that, and once again I'll try and, the webinar attendees, I'm going to email you the link, but for the people who are just watching the video for the first time, once again, to get to that KB article, I typed in meeting responsibilities, sorry, and then click the magnifying glass, and it's the second link that I chose, widgets, meeting responsibilities. I'm going to close this off. Okay, so I'm back here in the member area of our Rotary Club, and once again I'm going to click the go back button. Okay. So we've covered these first 6 items. I know we're getting close to the end of the time. There's a few more things I want to cover, and once again, I'll cover them briefly. There's 2 whole sections which we haven't talked about. When you click on website and website content, it takes you to the screen that says getting started, homepage content, but then you'll see 3 major icons: homepage content with all these, libraries, and pages. So I'm going to click the middle icon, libraries, and that's going to take me back to my story library, photo album library. We've covered most of these things except for image library. So image library, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on that, and what this is I can directly access all the images that I've uploaded onto my website. The nice thing about the image library is that it's shared. So as you upload an image into the image library, anybody else who logs into the website, and of course who has appropriate access level, can go ahead and access this image library. There are certain images that are locked. For example, it actually says the word locked in the title. Photo albums is locked also, because photo albums, you go to the photo album library to delete. You don't want to delete them here. So we've locked the photo albums. If I click the plus sign, I can actually go and see all my photo albums. Okay, but let's say, you know what, well, that's fine. How do I upload an image? You'll see it's very hard to see, but the upload button here is grayed out, and that's not very useful. So the only place you can upload is in my images. If I click on my images, I'll shrink down photo albums. If I click on my images, these are all the photos that are not only shared by all the memberships, but that have been uploaded by either myself or anyone else in my club. I can go ahead and click the upload button, and I can choose to, here's a nice koala bear, I'll upload Mr. Koala. I'll just click open, and there he is. Now he's in my photo album, and he's anybody you know, designing a custom widget or a story or whatever has access to this koala bear. Now let's say, you know what, I don't like this koala bear. What I'm going to do is I'm going to right click over the koala, and I'm going to delete this koala bear. And you always get prompted. You'll notice there is a 1 second delay. Sorry about that. Oh, I'm sorry, it's right here. You always get a confirmation before you delete anything in ClubRunner. It says, are you sure you want to do that? You're going to delete the file koala, and I'm going to click OK. And then invariably, someone calls you tomorrow morning and says, hey, you know that nice picture of the koala bear? I need that in my next bulletin story or whatever. And you're like, oh, well, you know what? I deleted it off my hard drive too. And then, you know, that's usually when we get a call. When we do get a call, it's actually okay, because if you'll notice here, and it is a little bit not as obvious as it should be, but if you click here on Deleted Images Archive, it's really important to know that if you delete an image in your image library, we have a recycle bin built in for you. So I clicked on Deleted Images Archive. I'm here. I'm going to right-click over Mr. Koala, and I'm going to restore the file. And it says, are you sure you want to do that? And you click OK. All right, and then it's restored. I click on Image Library. All right. Oh, I'm sorry, and it didn't go to My Images. I'm going to click on My Images, and disaster averted. The person who was writing the bulletin can use this story in their in their bulletin story, whatever. That's kind of important to know, but it's not as well known as it should be, that our image library does have a Deleted Images Archive, just in case you delete something by accident. Once again, there's more to cover. I don't have the time to cover it, so let's go back to our ClubRunner support page, and I'm just going to type in, let's see, what did I write down? Image library. Okay, that's the appropriate term. I'm going to hit enter. Okay, and I'm going to click, and you'll notice here the little article on how do you undelete, but I'm going to click here, website content 3.0 image library, and this is a nice little general overview. We went over everything. In fact, it even enters the library the same way we entered it. So once again, it's a full review of what we did, and to get there, I won't close this, I just typed image library, okay, and that got us to this article. I'm going to go back to our member area. I'm going to click website content again. Actually, I'm going to click libraries. There is one more thing I want to cover. We haven't talked about website sponsors. I'll cover them really quickly. I'm sorry, I'm a little behind now. I'm going to click on website sponsors. Really quickly, you as a Rotary Club can offer sponsorship to any person or business on your website, lawyer, a bike shop, auto mechanic, whatever. It's a great way to publicize businesses, and just so you know, there are Rotary clubs out there who use this as an income stream. Because you're, if you are a registered charity, a lot of companies have no problems, at all donating to Rotary clubs. So the Rotary Club, and I know there's a couple, they actually charge to be a website sponsor on their website. So they'll, I don't know, maybe a law office will say, you know what, we'll give you, and it might not be much, maybe it's $50 or $100 for the year, but we want to be on a sponsor on your website, and you collect the money and you say, that's wonderful, we're going to click add new sponsor. I'm actually not going to do it now because we're behind, but you can actually add the law office into your sponsor, and that becomes a sponsor. The nice thing is that some of the clubs who are really good at getting sponsors, it not only pays for their entire ClubRunner subscription and everything like that, it also pays for some of the projects that they do for the year. So don't discount sponsors. It's a great way, especially if you don't mind pounding the payment and making some phone calls. There are people out there who would be very happy to donate to Rotary clubs. But if you want to find out more about just the nuts and bolts of creating sponsors, I'm going to go back to the to our knowledge base, and I'm just going to type the word sponsors here and hit enter. Okay. And website content 3.0 sponsors. I'm going to click on this article, and once again, we get a nice little, how do you get to sponsors? What do they mean? How do you add them? Everything like that. So it's all here in this article. Okay, and to do that, I'm going to close this here. I just type sponsors at clubrunnersupport.com. Okay, so I'm going to click website content again. And so I'm going to go back to libraries. We covered most of this once again briefly. I'm going to click on pages, okay, and pages are essentially broken into two different sections. And I apologize, I know we're over time. Custom pages and site pages are the two broad types of pages you can create inside ClubRunner. What a custom page is, literally a blank page. It is it's the design of a custom page is very similar to the design of the website. In fact, if I go here to custom pages, and this is my custom pages section, I'm going to go to this custom page which I created a while ago, and you can see the design aspects are very similar to the website designer. And the reason I like custom pages is because you can literally do anything you want. I want to change the content template. You know what? I want a little margin on, not on the left side, I want a margin on the right side. I want a little column here. So if I click here on content template and I choose, let's go down, make it really simple. Let's do this one. I'm going to click wide left, narrow right here, and I'm going to click confirm, and it says, are you sure you want to do that? And now I've got a nice little right-hand column. Hey, what do you want to put on the right-hand column? Well, this dovetails nicely into our global custom widgets right here. I'm going to scroll down, okay, and, oh, where'd it go? Oh, not, sorry. All right. Oh, that's very strange. Okay. I'll have to look for the Facebook icon, but I would have loved to have dragged that in for you. But okay. And this is something different, by the way, the Facebook like button. If I ever want to preview a bulletin very quickly, I'm going to hover over it. I'm going to click the magnifying glass, and you can actually see what the bulletin looks like. So I'm sorry, what the widget looks like. So if you ever want to know what something looks like, hover over, I'm sorry, let me slow this down. hover over the widget and click the magnifying glass. That'll give you a quick preview of the widget if it has content inside it. So I'll close that off. In a nutshell, that's a custom page. Of course, there's a lot more to go over. I'm going to click go back. So that's, in a nutshell, is a custom page. They're really handy if you want to have complete control over the page. They are a little bit more effort than a site page. So let's go back and let's learn what a site page is very quickly. A custom page, as we mentioned, is literally a blank page. You can drag all kinds of widgets inside a custom page. For example, you can list the events for the next month or what have you in a custom page. A site page, by contrast, is a page with a built-in left-hand side navigation. Site pages look exactly the same. There's always a navigation on the left-hand side, and there's always some content on the right-hand side. Let's go click on site pages and look at them real quickly. There is a pre-built site page that we're going to take a look at. I'm just going to click either here, or just so you know you can do it, I'm going to click Edit. If you're not sure, if you come to site pages on your own website and you're like, hey, what is this thing? I haven't seen this site page before. If you click View, you can actually get a view of the site page, and you can see there's a broken link here. So obviously this looks fine. This is the way every site page in ClubRunner looks. There's always a title. There's always some kind of content, or sometimes it's empty, or and there's always a left-hand menu navigation, and this is created automatically because it's specifically a site page. I'm going to close this tab, and I'm going to go in and I'm going to click on the story of Greentown, and we can take a look, and you'll see that this this link is broken. So you know what? Let's well, actually, you know what? I know I'm very it's very enticing to go in and fix this, but because we're already over on time, I'm going to leave that alone. I just wanted you to see what a site page is and how it differs from a custom page. You'll notice I'm editing the site page right now. I can't drag any widgets in, and I cannot change the layout. The layout is locked. Some people like that. It's kind of like a discipline thing. It's like everything's here at my fingertips. Some people, they want the flexibility of a custom page. We make sure you have both options, so you can choose either custom page or site page. I'm going to click the go back button. Actually, I'm going to click on website content. Once again, there's a lot we glossed over. I'm going to go back to our knowledge base, and I'm going to get rid of the word sponsors, and I'm going to type site pages and custom pages. There's a very specific reason I'm typing this specific phrase. So site pages and custom pages, I'll hit the magnifying glass. I'm not going to go to the first two links. The first link is actually a site pages and custom pages pre-recorded webinar. Just if you're interested, we have a webinar later this month that covers this exact topic, but we have a pre-recorded video for you. We also have how to create a new site page. This is what I want. This third link, I'm going to scroll down just a little bit more so you can see. If I click on site pages and custom pages, that's the exact reason I typed it in. This is the section, an entire section in ClubRunner in our knowledge base that goes over all the details, custom pages, site pages, how do you create one, managing them. So this is a great little resource because it's not just one article but a collection of articles and a nice little video that goes into site pages management. So that's the link I want because this goes in depth into site pages and custom pages. They are pretty large topics. It's a great way to generate content, but it does take a little bit of practice, but it's once you get the hang of them, you'll use them a lot on your website. So that's how I found it. I'm going to go back here. I'm just going to click off, and the way that I found it is site pages and custom pages, and I'll hit enter this time, and I'm going to scroll down to the third link, and that's what I want, the actual ClubRunner section on site pages and custom pages. Of course, if I wanted the video, I could click there and I could actually see the video right inside the knowledge base. The nice thing about this is I can click play and it'll actually play the video, and I can watch everything, and I actually never leave ClubRunner, so that's great. Excuse me. I'm sorry about that. I'm going to close up this tab. As you can see, I've got all these other tabs open on purpose so that I can provide the links to all our webinar participants today. I'm going to go back to the knowledge base. I'll close that off. I'm going to go back to our member area. I'm going to click on website content. I will end the formal part of the webinar here. I'm sorry I went over time, but there's a lot to cover today, and we only covered it kind of like the surface of it, but now you have some resources. Thank you very much for attending today's webinar.